Hello and welcome to Highlander Sports Network. I'm Jason Greer. This is Texas High School Baseball. We're coming to you live on the road tonight. The Woodlands heads to Magnolia West after a dominant 10-0 win over the Caney Creek Panthers on last Tuesday. Was the last time we were back in action. That was a 10-0 win. Big third inning explosion last week. Cash Clayton hit the solo homer. Bryson Bourne came up big with a couple of RBIs. And Jack Schmeckel, speaking of Bryson Bourne, took a step back. He was our player of the game. So the Highlander Sports player of the game from last Tuesday was Bryson Bourne. And then Jack Schmeckel on the mound came up with a couple of big hits. And the Highlanders improved to 5-1 in District 13 6A play. As they head into this bye week here, a non-district game with Magnolia West, and it will be a playoff atmosphere, electric type of game as the fans are filing in. Sun's just starting to set. It's going to be in the hitter's eyes and probably here for the next 45 minutes or so as you see the coaches meeting between the umpires. We do have a three-man crew. They're treating this like a playoff type of game as the Mustangs are your 2023 state champs. They returned back to the finals in 2024. And Coach Earls is the head coach here at Magnolia West and has done a fantastic job of building this program to a playoff state championship contender each and every year. And they're going to be led tonight by a young man by the name of Garrett Bagwell, no relation to Jeff, for all you Astros fans. He's going to be behind the plate, and I would consider him, he's a 2027, one of the top catchers in the Houston area for the 2027 graduating class. And he's heading to Rice University after he graduates next spring. So he's a player to watch. And then, of course, for the Highlanders, you got a host of players to keep an eye on. Cash Clayton's at the top of the lineup tonight. Jack Schmeckel is going to be on the mound. The catcher, Chase Bradley, the usual suspects, will be out there grinding it out for the Highlanders here tonight in this non-district game. And a reason I stress the importance on this, and we'll talk a little bit more about this throughout the game, is this is the district. You have Klein, Tomball, Klein Collins, Klein Oak, etc. are in this same district. So when the playoffs come around, this is kind of that time of the year you can look at this game and see, oh, how did the Mustangs do against Klein? How did they do against Tomball? How did they fare? Who did they pitch? Who did we face? And you can kind of start comparing notes as you head into the playoffs here in the 2026 season. We are going to go through lineups for you real quick, then we'll take a break, and we'll be back for first pitch. We're scheduled to start at 7 p.m. For the Highlanders, visiting Highlanders, Cash Clayton leading things off, Cruz Romo, Jack Schmeckel, Chase Bradley is in the 4-hole, David Jurisic, he's out in right field, Cash McWhorter out in left, and then rounding out the bottom of the order, Elias Diaz at third, Johan Fernandez is at second, and Bryson Bourne in the 9-hole is in center field tonight. So a little bit of a change there for you. As Cash Clayton will be DHing, and Bryson Bourne will get the call out in center. And for the home team, the Magnolia West Mustangs, and you'll hear me call them the Dirt Boys. That's their kind of nickname they picked up that they go from throughout the season. So for the Mustangs, Beckett Steele gets the call at shortstop, Braden Campbell at second, and then the guy to keep your eyes on, Garrett Bagwell in the 3-hole catching, Lucas Huff DHing, Cole Meredith in left, the brother Carter is in right, Kyle Mercer at first, and Reed Stones at third. And rounding out the Mustangs lineup is Jude Huff. And the call on the mound tonight goes to Everett Huffman for the Mustangs. As we're about ready to head into the national anthem, we're going to take a quick break.
Highlander Nation, are you ready for your next dental appointment? Txhsbsb Dentistry covers all the bases. We're located in the Woodlands, Texas, and proud supporters of Highlanders baseball. Txhsbsb Dentistry is a dual specialist dental office dedicated to compassionate, high-quality care. Their practice is unique because they have 2 separate sides of the office, one for pediatric and one for adult dentistry, so the entire family can be seen in one visit. Give us a call at 281-292-1605. Again, that's 281-292-1605. or visit www.txhsbsb.com to schedule your next appointment. And be sure to mention Highlanders baseball. txhsbsb Dentistry, a home run for the whole family.
And welcome back as we are about ready for first pitch here in this non-district Texas high school matchup between the Highlanders and the Magnolia West Dirt Boys. As Everett Huffman is going through his final warm-up pitches. We got some nice seats here for you. We're right behind home plate for you tonight. Kind of similar to what we have in Willis. So the lefty Huffman going through his warm-ups. He's going to be facing Cash Clayton, Cruz Romo, and Jack Schmeckel to get things started. Got to see the Dirt Boys against the Willis Wildcats a few weeks ago, as the Wildcats came out on top of that game in extra innings, I believe. Or that might have been late in the game they came up with the win. And you'll see, again, for the Magnolia West Dirt Boys, Garrett Bagwell. I got to see Huffman pitch. A very talented squad. They're in a very tough district with Tomball, Klein Collins, Klein Oak, and Cash Clayton, as we are ready to go. First pitch on the way, and that's a fastball that misses down and away for ball one. Clayton comes in to tonight's game just about leading in every offensive category. He's batting .529 on the season with a 1,000 and change OPS, slugging .941 and a almost .600 on-base percentage as that misses outside. And runs count to 2-0. Takes a fastball on the outside corner for a called strike. Takes a count to 2-1 on Clayton. He'll be your designated hitter tonight as Bryson Bourne, as Coach Eastman experimenting, moving pieces around. And a check swing on the fastball evens it up at 2-2. Bryson Bourne will be out in center field tonight. And then David Jurisic will be out in right. As he's seen with the 2-strike count, center fielder Hoff moved shaded to the right side. And if you're a good hitter, he should have seen that, knowing that they're going to start pounding the outside on him, as they're expecting him to go oppo here. Wind blowing that direction, across the field from left to right. And the payoff pitch from Huffman is swung on and fouled out of play. And that's going to keep the count full at 3-2. Cruz Romo on deck. Jack Schmeckel in the 3-hole. It's Huffman with the sign, the kick. Here's the pitch. And gets the strikeout. Don't see that often from Cash Clayton as he goes down swinging for out number 1. And brings up Cruz Romo for the Highlanders. Romo comes in tonight's game at .455. And these, remember again, those of you that are listening, my stats are district stats. Those are the stats that determine who gets selected for the all-district team. And he takes a curveball high just under the hands for ball 1. And he overcooks the fastball down and away for ball 2. Runs the count to 2-0 on Romo. And misses down below the knees for ball 3. That infamous 3-0 count. Let's see why your 2-0 hitter, one of your best hitters on the team. I'd give him the green light here. And puts a fastball on the outside corner for a called strike. Runs the count to 3-1. One out in the inning. Jack Schmeckel's on deck. The 3-1 on the way. Overcooks that one, yanks it to the outside, and that's going to be a walk for Cruz Romo. So first base runner of the game is Cruz Romo.
Number 11, Jack
with the 1-out walk, brings up Jack Schmeckel, the pitcher, University of Texas commit. He's on the radar for a lot of scouts. There's a few here tonight. So I'll look around and see at least 3. Swings on the sweeper and fouls it off the umpire's mask for strike 1. That's a little, how you doing? Wake up call. And coaches are going to check on him, make sure he's all right. Those are always fun. Did he just... And it gets away from the catcher Bagwell. That's going to let Romo move on up to second. Check. And he swings, expands his zone, chases a high fastball on the outside corner, pops it up to the second baseman. That's Campbell. And reaches up and makes the catch for out number 2.
Number 3, Chase Bradley.
Brings up the cleanup hitter Chase Bradley, the catcher for the Highlanders. And Bradley steps in with a runner at second, 2 outs. And that is swung on, driven to center, right at Huff. Takes a couple steps to his left, makes the catch for out number 3 as he gets the side. Scoreless game as we head to the bottom of the first. No runs, no hits, and 1 walk. This is Highlander Baseball on the Highlander Sports Network. And welcome back to the bottom of the first here at the home of the Dirt Boys, Magnolia West, in this non-district matchup between the Highlanders and the Magnolia West Dirt Boys, a.k.a. the Mustangs. And it's going to be Beckett Steele, Brayton Campbell, and Garrett Bagwell for the Mustangs Dirt Boys here in the bottom of the first. We're scoreless. Jack Schmeckel on the mound. He comes in with 11 2/3 innings on the season in district, and he puts a fastball right there on the outside corner for a called strike. A 1.5 ERA for Schmeckel this season. That fastball at 93 is hammered out towards right field. Jurisic is on it, settles in the gap, and makes the catch for out number 1. And probably the most impressive stat for Schmeckel is the 19 strikeouts as he leads in that category. ERA, innings pitched, strikeouts, and fastball right there on the outside corner for a called strike. Fastball on the inside corner at 92. Nice scoop over there by Diaz, and the throw in time. Fantastic play by the third baseman Diaz for out number 2. And so far, if you're Coach Eastman and Coach Grays and what you're seeing from Schmeckel, he's putting the fastball where he wants it with a little bit of velo. I got him at 92, 93 right now. And he's getting contact, making outs. Just a few pitches. And Garrett Bagwell takes that pitch on the inside corner for ball 1. And train's coming through. And a swing and a miss as he pulls a string on the slider. Evens it up at 1-1. Bagwell sitting on a fastball. Good pitch call right there. Looked like a fastball. Came out, had that nice sharp action with some tilt on it. Fastball down. Catches the dirt. And he did check the swing. And run to count to 2-1 with 2 outs here. Garrett Bagwell, Jr., 2027. He's committed to Rice. Maybe he'll get a chance to play with Braden Sharp. And overcooks the fastball in the dirt. It's going to run the count to 3-1. This kind of spot here, wouldn't be afraid to challenge him if you're Schmeckel early in the game. 2 outs. And he foul tips a 93-mile-an-hour fastball at the plate to run the count full. Two outs here in the first. Bottom of the first, we're scoreless. The 3-2 is a beautiful slider right there for a called strike. Gets the strikeout. That's Schmeckel's first of the game as Bagwell's down looking. We're scoreless. No hits, no runs as we head to
Highlander Nation. Are you ready for your next dental appointment? Kacher Dentistry covers all the bases. We're located in the Woodlands, Texas, and proud supporters of Highlanders baseball. Kacher Dentistry is a dual specialist dental office dedicated to compassionate, high-quality care. Their practice is unique because they have 2 separate sides of the office, one for pediatric and one for adult dentistry, so the entire family can be seen in one visit. Give us a call at 281-292-1605. Again, that's 281-292-1605. Or visit www.kacherdentistry.com to schedule your next appointment. And be sure to mention Highlanders baseball. Kacher Dentistry, a home run for the whole family.
And we move to the top of the second here at Magnolia West, the home of the Dirt Boys Mustangs. And it's going to be David Jurisic, Cash McWhorter, and Elias Diaz, who had the fantastic defensive play over there at third, flashing the leather.
16, David Jurisic.
And so Jurisic steps up. Big swing and a miss at the fastball. First strike 1. The 0-1 is fastball on the outside corner. Misses to even it up at 1-1 on Jurisic. Jurisic out in right field. This is the first time I've seen him since the opening game of district play when he started against Grand Oaks. So only 4 at-bats for him in district as he gets the call out in right field for the Highlanders tonight. And the 2-1 on the way. And speaking of that game at Grand Oaks, that was the only loss that the Highlanders have had in district as they sit at 5-1. They picked the district schedule back up on Friday. And that is swung on and popped up high on the infield. Campbell calls off Mercer, and he makes the catch for out number 1. That's the second baseman, Campbell, and that's going to bring up Cash McWhorter. As I was saying, we'll pick district play back up on Friday. That's at Cleveland. We will not have that broadcast for you, unfortunately, as I've had some prior commitments between a birthday And my daughter is a senior at the Woodlands this season. And that is swung on by McWhorter, lifted out into shallow left or right field. That's going to drop in front of the center fielder Huff for a C&I single. And McWhorter with the 1-out single. He's at first and brings up Diaz. So Elias Diaz is at third base. He comes into the game at 273 on the season.
Number 5, Elias Diaz.
Has a couple of walks, 3 RBIs. And the pitch that's on the ground to the third baseman. And on the backhand is Stone. And the only play is at first. And McWhorter is going to move up to second on the fielder's choice. That was the only play. Smart heads-up play. I see so many youngsters try to force that double play. Brings up Johan Fernandez as Stone gets the out. So 2 outs here in the inning. And Fernandez takes a sweeper at the top of the zone for strike 1. Bryson Bourne on deck for the Highlanders. Had a big game against the Candy Creek Panthers last Tuesday. Last time we had the Highlanders in action as they were in a bye week. And on the ground to the first baseman. Big hop off the turf. And that's going to get over the head of the first baseman, Mercer. And McWhorter is going to score. And the Highlanders are on the board here in the second, 1-0. And brings up Bryson Bourne. Fernandez, I'm going to give him a hit on that. Hit the turf, took a hop over the first baseman's head. He barely got the glove on it. So infield single. Well, kind of infield single. So Fernandez at first, Bourne at the plate. He's swinging and fouls it straight back into the net towards us for strike 1. So 2 outs in the inning. Bryson Bourne at the plate with a runner at first. That's Johan Fernandez. He picked up the RBI. And down in the dirt, gets away from Bagwell. That's very unusual to see that happen to a catcher of his caliber. That's 2 pass balls on him tonight. And that's going to allow Fernandez to move up to second. To show you how big that play was, that McWhorter was able to get to second with his speed and force Stone to make the throw across first on Diaz. Ended up becoming an RBI as Bourne fouls off, spoils the outside fastball. Take the count to 1-2. Highlanders come into tonight's game as a team hitting .325. The pitch is a fastball just off the outside corner. That's going to even it up at 2-2. The 2-2 to Bourne. Swings and misses, and that's the 3rd out of the inning as Bourne is down on strikes. But the Highlanders pick up 1 run, take a 1-0 lead here at Magnolia West, home of the Dirt Boys. We're heading to the bottom of the second. This is Highlander Baseball on the Highlander Sports Network. And we move to the bottom of the second here at Magnolia West, home of the Mustangs, a.k.a. the Dirt Boys. You'll hear me say that. They have that on their on the sleeve of their right, on the jersey, on the right side of the jersey, on the right sleeve. Coach Earls, a little bit of history there. We'll kind of walk through that. And there's a fastball from Schmeckel to Cole Meredith, leading things off for strike one. So it's Cole Meredith, Carter Meredith, and the first baseman, Kyle Mercer. Anybody reaches? The third baseman, Reed Stone. And got him to whiff at the slider. Runs the count to 0-2 on Lucas Huff. Fastball high and tied under the chin at 94. The one, and got him swinging. Strikeout number 2 for Schmeckel. And back-to-back strikeouts if you count going back to the first. And brings up the left fielder, Cole Meredith. And that's on the ground. Another play by Diaz at the backhand. The throw is in time, and a great play over there by Cruz Romo to come off the bag, bail out his third baseman, and make the tag for out number 2. Fantastic defensive play on both ends by Diaz and Cruz Romo. Carter Meredith at the plate. Takes fastball high for ball 1. Swing and a miss. Evens it up at 1-1 on the fastball at the knees. Pulls the string on the slider. Runs the count to 1-2. Schmeckel looking for strikeout number 3. 2 outs here in the second. And the 1-2 count. The wind, the kick, the pitch is up the middle, and that's going to drop in front of Bryson Bourne for a 2-out single for Carter Meredith. First hit of the game for the Dirt Boys. And that's going to bring up the first baseman, Kyle Mercer, for the Dirt Boys, with 2 outs and a runner at first. And that's in there for a called strike. That was a slider. The 0-1 to Mercer. We got him to check swing, expands the zone, and chases a slider way outside. That's probably the 3rd or 4th time I've seen that tonight. And you can tell from where I'm sitting, you can see that he's got those 2 pitches slotted and chases it in the dirt. Strikeout number 3 for Schmeckel. Works around a 2-out single. No runs, 1 hit, nobody. No errors, one batter left on. We're heading to the top of the 3rd. Highlanders lead 1-0. This is a Highlander Sports Network.
Highlander Nation, are you ready for your next dental appointment? Kacher Dentistry covers all the bases. We're located in the Woodlands, Texas, and proud supporters of Highlanders baseball. Kacher Dentistry is a dual specialist dental office dedicated to compassionate, high-quality care. Their practice is unique because they have 2 separate sides of the office. one for pediatric and one for adult dentistry, so the entire family can be seen in one visit. Give us a call at 281-292-1605. Again, that's 281-292-1605. Or visit www.txhsbsb.com to schedule your next appointment. And be sure to mention Highlanders baseball. txhsbsb Dentistry, a home run for the whole family.
And we're back to the top of the order for the Highlanders. Cash Clayton leading things off here in the third. Highlanders lead 1-0. Everett Huffman still on the mound. And that is on the ground. That's going to get by the first baseman with a weird hop. And great job by Huffman to get there and pick his first baseman up on the PFP. And that's going to be out number one, as that ball came off with some English on it. And the first baseman, Mercer, he let it go by, and the second baseman, Campbell, was there. For out number one in your scorebook, that's going to be 4-1 for out number one in Cruz Romo at the plate. He walked back in the first and swinging early at the first pitch, and that's fouled down the left field line and out of play for strike one. One out here in the third. Highlanders leading 1-0. So far, been a game for the pitchers. Huffman working quick, Schmeckel working quick. And the sweeper gets away from Huffman for ball one. Evens it up at 1-1. Romo worked a one-out walk back in the first inning. The 1-1 misses down and in for ball two. Runs count to 2-1. Cruz Romo. That's the brother of former Highlander Drew Romo, and is now with the White Sox. That is hammered down the right field line and foul. And it's going to even it up at 2-2. I haven't seen the roster updates to see if Drew made the White Sox out of camp. And big swing and a miss on the fastball at the knees. Beautiful pitch right there from Everett Huffman for out number two. And that's Huffman's third strikeout of the game. So we're going to keep tallies on this. 3 for Schmeckel and 3 for Huffman. As they're facing each other, Schmeckel at the plate. He popped up to the second baseman, Campbell, back in the first inning. As the slider skipped in the dirt for ball one. The 1-0 on the way. Misses high with the fastball to even it at 1-1. That is popped up on the infield. It's in foul territory. Mercer has room, makes the catch for the third out. And 1-2-3 go the Highlanders. We're moving to the bottom of the third. They lead by a score of 1-0. This is Highlander Baseball on the Highlander Sports Network. And we move to the bottom of the third. Highlanders leading this non-district matchup between the Magnolia West Dirt Boys and the Highlanders. They're up 1-0. And it's going to be Reed Stone, Jade Huff, and then back to the top of the order with Beckett Steele. There's a fastball on the outside corner at the knees for strike one. Beautiful pitch from Schmeckel as he gets ahead early on Stone. Pulled the string on that with the changeup at 85 for strike two. He's mixed that pitch in a few times. And the slider's in there for a swing and strike three. And out number one, that's the fourth strikeout on the night for Schmeckel. If you're just joining us, you are in for a delight of a game so far. Just a couple of hits sprinkled between the two teams. It's been a pitcher's duel here so far through three. Jade Huff at the plate with nobody on and one out, takes a fastball down and away for ball one. Slider misses down and away, tried to backdoor it. Runs a count to 2-0. 9-hole hitter, don't waste pitches here if you're Schmeckel. Fastball gets away from him. Runs a count to 3-0. Gotta love the chatter from the high school dugouts. And that's in there for a called strike. Runs count to 3-1. And that's on the ground to the shortstop, Noah Nightstep. And the flip to first is in time. That's out number two. Flips the lineup up, back to the top. And Beckett Steele, he flew out to the right fielder, David Jurisic, as he had to run it down in the gap. Back in the first inning. And the slider misses outside for ball one to Steele. 2 outs here, bottom of the third. Highlanders are leading 1-0. The 1-0 overcooks the fastball, leaves it high and outside. And that takes the count to 2-0. Slider misses. So 2 hitters in a row, if you're keeping track at home, that he has gone to 3-0 on. Fastball right down Broadway for a called strike one. Runs a count to 3-1 on Steele. Steele looking to ignite a 2-out rally here in the third. And that's foul tipped. Catches Bradley on the inner thighs. It went through the 5-hole. And that's probably like the third or fourth time I've seen that this year for a poor kid. Umpire giving him a minute to catch his breath on that one. Takes the count full on Steele, the shortstop for the Dirt Boys, with 2 outs. And the payoff pitch is on the way, and that is on the ground to the third baseman, Diaz. A lot of action tonight, and that throw is in time. Dug out the dirt by Romo. Another bail him out over there at third. 2 defensive great plays by the Highlanders. They lead this one 1-0 as we head to the top of the fourth. This is Highlander Baseball, the Highlander Sports Network.
Highlander Nation, Are you ready for your next dental appointment? Kacher Dentistry covers all the bases. We're located in the Woodlands, Texas, and proud supporters of Highlanders baseball. Kacher Dentistry is a dual specialist dental office dedicated to compassionate, high-quality care. Their practice is unique because they have two separate sides of the office, one for pediatric and one for adult dentistry, so the entire family can be seen in one visit. Give us a call at 281-292-1605. Again, that's 282-1605. Or visit www.kacherdentistry.com to schedule your next appointment. And be sure to mention Highlanders baseball. Kacher Dentistry. A home run for the whole family.
And we move to the top of the fourth here at Magnolia West, home of the Dirt Boys, as they are hosting the Highlanders here in this non-district matchup, as it's a bye week, or has been for the Highlanders. That will come to an end this Friday against Cleveland, as they will resume district play this Friday at 7 o'clock at Cleveland. Chase Bradley leading things off, and he takes fastball high for ball one. So far, the tale of this game has been a pitcher's duel. Schmeckel for the Highlanders and Everett Huffman for the Dirt Boys. That is swung on, popped up in foul territory, and drifts out of play. As it's brought the fans out, stands are full. Anytime you get a chance to see playoff baseball, caliber playoff baseball this early in the season, gets you out the doors here in South Texas. And the 1-1 to Bradley as he takes a slider right there on the outside corner for strike two and runs the count to 1-2. Bradley popped out to the center fielder, Huff, back in the first. And the 1-2. That is down the right field line and out of play. So the wind blowing in kind of from crosswind from left center towards first base, if give you the picture on that. And that's swung on and fouled straight back. And it's going to keep it at 1-2 as Bradley battling in the count. And then the 1-2 misses off the outside edge. Evens it up at 2-2. Jurisic's on deck. And then Cash McWhorter, if anybody reaches the third baseman, Diaz. The 2-2. At the knees, gets him looking questionable. 2 strikes you got to defend if you're in that position, and that's going to be strikeout number 4 for Huffman. So both pitchers with 4 strikeouts. Curveball misses high to Jurisic. Jurisic flew out, popped up to the second baseman Campbell. Back in the second. And fastball, that had a little life on it from Huffman. Evens the count at 1-1. I've had Huffman around 86, 87 tonight with the fastball. A little sweeper at 75, changing speeds on him. Runs the count to 1-2, 1 out, and nobody on. Highlanders leading this game 1-0. Came on a single by Johan Fernandez as he picked up Cash McWhorter at second. Fastball off the outside corner at 85. So right there, 85, 86, 87 for Huffman. Schmeckel's been working 92 to 94 most of the night. Sitting more around 92, 93. The 2-2, that is hammered out to the left center gap, but played perfectly is Cole Meredith as he took just a couple of steps into the gap and makes the catch. That's out number 2, brings up McWhorter. He singled and then advanced to second on that fielder's choice on the play by the third baseman. Stone had to go to his backhand, have enough time to get the lead runner at second. And McWhorter hammers one out to right. That is up and off the base. That is up and off the base of the wall. And that's going to be a stand-up 2-out double for Cash McWhorter. He was sitting on a first pitch fastball, opened up early and yanked it to the fence. No wind, that probably has a chance to get out. But he's at second for the second time tonight, with 2 outs.
Number 5, Elias Diaz.
And Elias Diaz steps to the plate. He had the ground ball to the third baseman, Stone. And he takes a fastball down and in for ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Highlanders with a runner in scoring position. It's Cash McWhorter with 2 outs. And Diaz takes a slider in the dirt for ball 2. Nice stop by Bagwell. Keeps it in front of him and holds McWhorter at second. Already got a wild pitch and a couple of pass balls in this game. You don't want McWhorter at third. And a check on McWhorter as he was extending his lead. Two balls, no strikes, 2 outs. Misses down and in just above the shoe top for ball 3 to Diaz. Johan Fernandez is on deck if Diaz can keep the inning going. And we have a balk. And that's going to move McWhorter up to third with 2 outs. Three-0 is a fastball down the middle. Probably the best pitch he's going to see in the at-bat. Again, I'll argue that to the end. The 3-1, and it's on the ground to Stone. Does a great job, takes the good hop, and nice play by the first baseman Mercer as he came off the bag, caught it, makes the tag on Diaz, and Huffman escapes a 2-out double by McWhorter. The Highlanders still lead 1-0 as we head to the bottom of the 4th. This is Highlander Baseball on the Highlander Sports Network.
your second baseman.
And we move to the bottom of the fourth. Braden Campbell, Garrett Bagwell. First pitch is in there for a called strike. And then Lucas Huff, anybody reaches Cole Meredith. Out number one. On the ground ball to the second baseman, Fernandez. Off the bat of Braden Campbell brings up the catcher, Garrett Bagwell. Struck out looking back in the first. As he steps in with one out and nobody on. Fastball off the outside edge for ball one. The 1-0. Puts a little sweeper in there for a called strike. Evens the count at 1-1. And the sweeper again as he fouls it at the plate. And that's going to take it to 1-2 on the 2027 grad. Rice commit, Garrett Bagwell. I had mentioned earlier, hopefully he gets a chance to play side by side by one of our favorite Highlanders, Braden Sharp, who's now at Rice University. And that is out towards center. Bryson Bourne tracking and makes the catch for out number two. Sharp transferred from Tennessee to Rice over the summer, last summer. Got himself a College World Series with Coach Vitello at Tennessee his freshman year. Battled through some injuries. He's now down at Rice in the rotation. And that is swung on, and that catches Bradley again. And he's down. That's going to get the coaches out. I think that one kind of caught him in the sternum, knocked breath. As he'll just take a time to kind of recover from that one. I don't think that was much of a shot to the hinterlands as it was kind of more in the, caught him in the chest guard. I mean, it's a 94-mile fastball on a deflection off the foul tip, so it's picking up speed as it comes off the bat. So you're taking a shot to the chest at 100 miles an hour, essentially. And it's going to hurt. Umpire giving him some grief. And we have another train blowing through. And we're back and ready for action. The 0-1 to Huff, that is swung on and driven high to left field, high in the air. Giving chase is the left fielder for the Highlanders. McWhorter catches it in foul territory. Lots of foul territory here at Magnolia West, and he had plenty of room to make that catch for the third out of the inning. We're moving to the fifth. Highlanders leading it by a score of 1-0. This is the Highlanders.
Highlander Nation, are you ready for your next dental appointment? Kacher Dentistry covers all the bases. We're located in the Woodlands, Texas, and proud supporters of Highlanders baseball. Kacher Dentistry is a dual specialist dental office dedicated to compassionate, high-quality care. Their practice is unique because they have two separate sides of the office, one for pediatric and one for adult dentistry, so the entire family can be seen in one visit. Give us a call at 281-292-1605. Again, that's 281-292-1605. Or visit www.kacherdentistry.com to schedule your next appointment. And be sure to mention Highlanders baseball. Kacher Dentistry, a home run for the whole family.
And we move to the top of the 5th here at Magnolia West in this non-district matchup between the Highlanders and the Magnolia West Dirt Boys, a.k.a. the Mustangs. Johan Fernandez, Bryson Bourne, then back to the top of the order in Cash Clayton. And fastball from, or sweeper from Huffman misses outside for ball 1. Fernandez had that single that kind of kicked up off the skirt of the infield. And he takes a sweeper high for ball 2. Kind of kicked off the skirt and over the head, kind of caught the glove of Mercer as he reached up and tried to snag it and trickled out to right field and allowed McWhorter to score. So the only RBI of the game came off the bat of this young man, Johan Fernandez. The 2-1. That's on the ground at third baseman. Oh, nice play by Stone and a throw in time. Man, these third basemen are flashing the leather tonight. Diaz and Stone are getting it done over there. So the hot corner seeing a lot of action here tonight, and that's going to bring up Bryson Bourne. He struck out back in the 2nd. He comes up with 1 out, nobody on, and the Highlanders leading this game by a score of 1-0. Swings through the fastball on the outside corner for strike 1. Bourne, dangerous speed. Wide receiver on the football team. Very talented young man, very athletic. And if you recognize the name, that's his dad is Michael Bourne, former center fielder for the Houston Astros, Cleveland Indians. Had a nice run in the big leagues, and fastball misses high for ball 1. Counts 1-2. Pitch on the way. Got him to chase it. And a strikeout for second of the game for Bourne. And the 5th on the night for Mr. Huffman. Back to the top of the order in Cash Clayton. Struck out, then grounded to the first baseman Campbell, or second baseman Campbell. And the fastball right there on the outside corner from Huffman. For strike 1. 2 outs, nobody on. Highlanders up 1-0. That was a great pitch by Huffman, and Clayton just spoiled it. Clayton, 2027 junior. He's been on varsity since he was a freshman. The 0-2. Right there on the corner, and he's down looking. We head to the bottom of the 5th. Highlanders are up 1-0. Don't go anywhere because this is a playoff caliber game. The pitchers are on fire tonight. This is Highlander Baseball, Highlander Sports Network. Meredith. And first baseman, Kyle Mercer. Anybody reaches the third baseman, Reed Stone. Meredith grounded to the third baseman, Diaz. back in the second. Schmeckel back out for inning number 5. He's got 4 strikeouts. Huffman with 5. And that's fouled at the plate for strike 1. Definitely a pitcher's game here tonight. And that's on the ground, right back to the first base, or up the middle, but Nightstep on the, and makes a fantastic play by Noah Nightstep. The ball was weakly hit. Schmeckel tried to get to it. Nightstep on the run, makes the throw in time for the first out. Flashing the leather is Noah Nightstep. And that brings up Carter Meredith. Fastball right there down central for a called strike on the right fielder. The only hit of the game for the Dirt Boys is off the bat of Carter Meredith. Got him to take a look at it. First base umpire said, no, hold on. Evens it up at 1-1. 1 out. Waves at that one. Another slider. Runs the count to 1-2. Goes there again and gets him this time. Checks it, and the first base umpire says, yes, sir. And strikeout number 5 for Schmeckel. So 5 for Schmeckel, 5 for Huffman in this pitcher's duel here. And first baseman Kyle Mercer steps up. He struck out back in the second. A little sweeper he puts in there for called strike 2. Schmeckel working fast. The 0-2. Get him. Chases the slider in the dirt for strikeout number 6 on the night. Puts the Dirt Boys down in order. 1-2-3. We head to the top of the 6th. Highlanders lead 1-0. This is Highlander Sport.
Highlander Nation, are you ready for your next dental appointment? Kacher Dentistry covers all the bases. We're located in the Woodlands, Texas, and proud supporters of Highlanders baseball. Kacher Dentistry is a dual specialist dental office dedicated to compassionate, high-quality care. Their practice is unique because they have 2 separate sides of the office, one for pediatric and one for adult dentistry, so the entire family can be seen in one visit. Give us a call at 281-292-1605. Again, that's 281-292-1605. Or visit www.kcherdentistry.com to schedule your next appointment. And be sure to mention Highlanders baseball. Kacher Dentistry, a home run for the whole family.
And here we are moving into the 6th. If you're just joining us, yes, that is right. We're about an hour and 5 minutes into this game, and we are in the 6th inning. Both pitchers are on fire for the Dirt Boys and the Highlanders. Everett Huffman out for inning number 6. He's down by a run. Cruz Romo leading things off as he takes a sweeper on the outside corner for ball 1. Romo walked in the first. He struck out in the third. Huffman and Schmeckel have been dueling it out all night. And that is on the ground to the second baseman. Campbell charging and makes the flip for out number 1. Schmeckel with just recorded his 6th strikeout. and Huffman sitting at 5.
Number 11, Jack Schmeckel.
And Jack Schmeckel at the plate for the Highlanders. He's flew out to the second baseman, Campbell, in the first, and then Mercer, the first baseman, in the third. Almost hits him with the slider for ball 1. Highlanders looking for some insurance runs. The 1-0 misses high, takes it to 2-0. One out, nobody on. Highlanders up 1-0. At the knees for a called strike. That came back in the second when Cash McWhorter singled, made his way to second on a fielder's choice, and then came in on a awkward single off the bat of Johan Fernandez as that misses inside for ball 3. Runs it to 3-1 on the pitcher, Jack Schmeckel. Two-way player. He's had the University of Texas just to do that. And that misses for ball 4. It's the first walk in a long time for Huffman. That's since the first. The walk to Romo. And we'll have a courtesy runner. I think that's
Courtesy runner at first base, number 13, Benjamin Gordley.
Benjamin Gordley for the Highlanders is your courtesy runner, and that's going to bring up Chase Bradley.
Number 3, Chase.
Interesting
Bradley.
to see with one out what Coach Eastman does here. If we're going to try to bunt him over to pick up another run, maybe a hit and run here with Bradley. He can hit it to the right side very well. Very well. Has very good bat control, and that misses down for ball 1. I think if you're going to do it, this would be a spot. Put something on here with 1 ball, no strikes. See if the Highlanders can get a runner in scoring position here. And that is driven down the right field line, drifting foul. Again, lots of room here at Magnolia West. Lots of room. And a dirt field. There are a few of them left. Highlanders, Oak Ridge, Mag West. It's a trend slowly disappearing, and that is going to be up the middle right at Steele. Takes a bad hop, but wow. Okay, that gets away. And so Chase Bradley ends up at second. The ball hit the skirt and caught Steele in the chest and bounced straight to the second baseman, Campbell, at the bag. So he's able to step on the bag, get out number 2, and then he tried to turn a double play and overshot the first baseman by about 10 feet. Coach Earls is coming out looking for maybe a possible interference run. We'll have another courtesy runner here for the catcher, Bradley. So Gordley was retired on the fielder's choice, 6-4. Bradley reaches on the fielder's choice and then moves to second on the throwing error from Campbell. So if you're putting that in your scorebook, that's a fielder's choice, 6-3, with a throwing error by the second baseman, E4. 2 outs, runner at second, and that's off the bat of the speedy Fuller. And he almost beat that out. And again, Huffman works out of a jam. Highlanders lead this one by a score of 1-0. We're moving to the 6 here at Magnolia West. This is a Highlander Sports Network. are heading to the bottom of the 6th. It's going to be Reed Stone, Jude Huff, and then back to the top of the order in the shortstop, Beckett Steele. Schmeckel out for inning number 6. Has looked fantastic here tonight. Has had control of the strike zone. Fastball right there for a called strike at the knees, as he's ahead quickly 0-1 on the third baseman, Stone. Stone has made some absolute web gems over there at third tonight. And the slider just misses the outside corner to even it up at 1-1. Schmeckel's had the slider working. He's taken a little bit off of it, turned it into a little bit of a sweeper. Fastball's working, and we've seen flashes of a changeup here tonight, as he gets a little over on top of that one and cooks it into the dirt to run the count to 2-1. Just here is a spot as a pitcher. Be smart. Bottom of the order, work the strike zone to contact, and let your defense, who has played a heck of a game, make some plays. Diaz at third's got 4 or 5 fantastic plays. Noah Nystep just made a play in the 5th. And there's strikeout number 7 for Mr. Schmeckel, as Stone is down. And the center fielder, Jude Huff, at the plate. He grounded to the shortstop. Nightstep back in the third. That's on the ground of the second baseman, Fernandez, and he can't. A hop eats him up, as that was hit hard off the bat of Huff. And Fernandez found himself in no man's land. And that's just one of those plays. It's hard. It's easy to sit here and say it. You just throw the body in front of it as a second baseman. Let that thing hit the chest, fall in front of you, and you got plenty of time to make that throw. It's a lot easier said than done. Reactions take over. So a single, that's the first hit in several innings since the second for the Dirt Boys, and that slider misses for ball 1. Back to the top of the order here in the 6th inning. Beckett Steele with a runner at first. Fastball is right there on the outside corner at the knees for called strike. Runs it to 1-1. See if Coach Earls tries to get that runner into scoring position. At the top of your order, your shortstop, probably one of your best players on the team here. Slider gets away from Bradley, kicks towards the Highlander dugout, and that's going to allow Huff to move up to second. And the Dirt Boys got something cooking here. With 1 out and a runner, the tying run at second here in the 6th. And the top of the order due up for the Dirt Boys as Chase Bradley goes out to have a word with his ace. First time he's had to really work with any traffic on the bases, looking through my book, since the 2nd inning. So this is the first base runner that the Dirt Boys have had in 4 innings. That's how, and gets Steele to chase the sweeper. It's almost like they're selling out for the fastball coming in at 94. They're trying to sit on it and get ahead of it. And Bradley's just calling off-speed stuff, and they're way out front. The 2-2's on the way. Just had to be high, as I'm sitting right here looking at that, and that cut the outer third of the plate. It was on the plate, had to miss high. Count's full, 1 out. The payoff pitch from Schmeckel is a foul tip at the plate as he went to the sweeper. Keeps the count full at 3-2. Tying run at second, Beckett Steele, the shortstop, leadoff hitter at the plate. The payoff pitch from Schmeckel. Puts it low. Doesn't get the call. He backdoored a slider on the inside corner, and Steele took it. A good eye by Steele, because I probably would have been swinging to foul that off at least, because it was pretty dang close. So that puts runners at first and second. Go-ahead run is at first, tying run at second. One out, and the second baseman, Braden Campbell, at the plate. He's grounded to third. He's grounded to second. Schmeckel steps off for a little reset. Coach Earl's down at third, running through signs. Is this a spot here where you put the bunt on and you have your three-hole hitter, probably best player on the team, try to win it? Fastball right there for a called strike. Didn't tip bunt. Schmeckel's ahead in the count. 0-1, one out. Runners at first and second. Highlanders up 1-0 here in the sixth. Chases a slider off the plate for strike two. Runs the count to 0-2. Garrett Bagwell on deck. Big stick. The Rice commit. The 0-2. That's on the ground to the shortstop, nice step. He flips to Fernandez. They're able to only get one. As the throw from Nightstep was high, and that's going to get Coach Eastman out of the dugout. And this is a conversation here. This is me. This is the best player on the team. Wind blowing in, but this kid has the ability to put one over the scoreboard even with the wind blowing in. I nibble at the outside corner. If I can get him to expand it and chase it. He struck out in the first. He flew out to center in the fourth. So this is just a position here where I'm not giving him, I'm not serving up a 90-mile-an-hour fastball down the middle of the plate, because this kid will eat that up. I'm nibbling off the outside corner. I'm walking through strategy here at this point. And honestly, if you have a pass ball or something that allows the runner to go up to second, I just put him on. So 2 outs, runners at the corners. Huff at third, he singled. Fastball right there on the inner third for a called strike. Schmeckel gets ahead. Puts the analytics in his favor with the first pitch strike. 2 outs. Slider right there on the outside corner. Nice tight spin on that one for a called strike 2. Bagwell down in the count, 0-2. See if you can get him to chase. Bradley sets up outside, the 0-2. As he works the outside corner. Misses about a baseball and a half off the edge for ball 1. Runs the count to 1-2. Steele's at first. He walked. Huff is at third. And that's on the ground to the third baseman, Diaz. He steps, and the throw in time. Schmeckel works out of a jam. He had some traffic, but he gets it done. Induces the ground ball. And the Highlanders lead this one by 1-0 as we head to the 7th. Don't go anywhere. This is the Highlander Sports Network. And we are moving into the top of 7 here at Magnolia West, the home of the Dirt Boys, a.k.a. the Mustangs. Cash McWhorter leading things off. He had a double off the wall back in the 4th and a single in the 2nd. He's got 2 of the 3 Highlander hits tonight. Fastball right there at the knees, evens it at 1-1. As Huffman's out for his 7th inning of work. And got McWhorter to chase the changeup in the dirt. Runs it to 1-2. That is hammered, but right at Carter Meredith. He had literally take 2 steps to his right and makes the catch, or his left makes the catch. And it's first time tonight McWhorter is retired. Brings up third baseman Elias Diaz for the Highlanders. He has grounded to Stone at third base twice, back in the 2nd and in the 4th. Fastball misses high for ball 1. The 1-0. Gets around the slide. The sweeper leaves it way outside for ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. 1 out. Johan Fernandez is on deck. And that is ripped out into the left center gap. That's going to get down, and a 1-out single for Diaz. A couple of big defensive plays for Diaz, and he comes up big with a 1-out single as the Highlanders are looking to add some insurance runs here in the 7th. You're going to have 4, 5, and 6 due up for the Dirt Boys in their half of the 7th. So the meat of their order, you'd like to at least pick up 1, maybe 2 runs here. Johan Fernandez. Singled back in the 2nd, grounded to the third baseman Stone in the 5th as he swings over the top of the sweeper for strike 1. And a check on Diaz at first. He's not that far off the bag. With the lefty Hoffman on the mound. It's a spot where you want to play it safe over there. Fernandez foul tips into the glove of Bagwell for strike 2. The 0-2 on the way. Right there on the outside corner. And Fernandez is down looking. And that's strikeout number 6 for Mr. Huffman. And that's going to bring up a pinch hitter for the Highlanders. That's going to be number 10. That is Sawyer Miller. Banks. My, I don't know why I have Miller, my little producer over here, correcting me. So kudos to them. I did forget to mention our producer and videographer tonight, Miss Emma Riley, is on the camera. And Miss Reese Kim is our producer. She's running our score bug and commercials for you here tonight. And the board. The 0-1 swings over the top of that for strike 2. Two outs. The count's 0-2. Diaz at first. That is fouled into the screen. And Banks is going to get to see another pitch. Cash Clayton on deck. If Banks can extend the inning. Tough position to come off the bench with 2 outs. And foul tips it into the glove of Bagwell for out number 3. We're moving to the bottom of the 7th. The Highlanders clinging to a 1-0 lead. This is the Highlanders Sports Network. And here we go. It's going to be 4, 5, and 6 for the Dirt Boys. Chance to tie it. Here in the 7th, they're down by 1. Tying run at the plate, Lucas Huff. Cole Meredith, and then Carter Meredith. Fastball misses high for ball 1. The old motto, get ahead, stay ahead at this point. Fastball right there. As he swings through it on the inside corner to even it up at 1-1. And a check swing foul towards the Dirt Boy dugout. Look out over there. That runs it to 1-2 on Lucas Huff. He's the designated hitter for the Dirt Boys tonight. The 1-2 misses high and inside, just over the head of Huff. Evening at 2-2. I don't know if that's a setup pitch. I say that with a smile. You throw the slider outside. Huff struck out in the 2nd. He flew to left in the 4th. Pulls the string on the changeup, and that's going to be another strikeout for Schmeckel. That's going to be number 8 on the night for Jack Schmeckel. Takes him up to 27 on the season. And brings up Cole Meredith with 1 out and nobody on. Fastball high for ball 1. Puts a slider on top of the Pringles can as he swings over the top of it to even it up at 1-1. Holds the swing, checks it on the high fastball to run the count to 2-1. Got him to chase the slider. Evens it up at 2-2. Yeah, Schmeckel looking for strikeout number 9. And gets it with the slider. Second strikeout of the inning, and number 9 on the night. As he looks, he's just 1 short of tying the season high of 10.
Carter Meredith.
And Carter Meredith at the plate with 2 outs. Fastball on the inside corner as he swings through it for strike 1. Slider on, swings and chases. Runs the count to 0-2 as Coach Earls asks for time to have a little chat with his hitter, Meredith. Carter Meredith. He's in right, brother Cole is in left. A couple of brothers on this team, Lucas Huff, Jude Huff. Schmeckel looking to close this out. Strikeout number 10. Is it on the board? Is it a Highlander win? Misses high. Takes it to 1-2. It's Carter Meredith looking to keep the inning alive. Slider misses down and away to even it at 2-2. The 2-2 on the way. Fouled on the ground toward the Highlander dugout. And that's going to keep it at 2-2. Deuces Wild on the board, 2-2. 2 outs. The pitch on the ground of the shortstop. Nightstep gets the big hop. The throw in time. And that's a winner for the Highlanders as they take this one by a score of 1-0 on the pitching gem by Jack Schmeckel. The Highlanders take this one 1-0. We'll be back with some numbers and your player of the game after this.
Highlander Nation, are you ready for your next dental appointment? KCHR Dentistry covers all the bases. We're located in the Woodlands, Texas, and proud supporters of Highlanders baseball. KCHR Dentistry is a dual specialist dental office dedicated to compassionate, high-quality care. Their practice is unique because they have 2 separate sides of the office, one for pediatric and one for adult dentistry, so the entire family can be seen in one visit. Give us a call at 281-292-1605. Again, that's 281-292-1605. Or visit www.kchrdentistry.com to schedule your next appointment. And be sure to mention Highlanders baseball. KCHR Dentistry, a home run for the whole family.
And we are back. Highlanders take this non-district matchup between the Highlanders and the Mag West Dirt Boys by a score of 1-0. And what a fantastic game. First pitch was at 7. It's 8:36, an hour and 36 minutes to play a 7-inning game. It was a pitcher's duel. Everett Huffman for the Dirt Boys comes up short on in this ball game is he's the loser, but he ends up with 7 strikeouts on the night, only gives up a couple of hits, 3 hits on the night. Jack Schmeckel gives up 2 hits, and ends up with 9 strikeouts on the night. Cash McWhorter had 2 of those 3 hits for the Highlanders as his bat has come alive here tonight for the Highlanders. Our player of the game, no doubter, Jack Schmeckel goes complete game shutout, couple of hits, no runs, no earned runs, couple of walks, and 9 strikeouts. Takes his total to 27 on the season. Highlanders are back in action on Friday night against Cleveland as they return to district play for the remainder of the season. So we got Cleveland on Friday, Cleveland on Tuesday, then I believe we head to New Caney. We will not have our Friday's game on our broadcast on the stream. I will be out of town for that game. We'll be back a week from today at Scotland Yard for Cleveland and the Highlanders. You can check us here. If you haven't subscribed yet, you'll get the notifications. Hit that subscribe button. We'll bring all the action live to you Tuesday. That's going to be next Tuesday at Scotland Yard as the Cleveland Indians come into town to play the Highlanders and we'll be halfway through district as of next Tuesday. Thank you for joining us here tonight. Highlanders take this one 1-0. Safe travels. God bless. We'll see you next Tuesday.